What's up everyone, and welcome back to Top5Central. The whole point of school is to learn stuff, but nowadays it seems like people focus way more on passing than actually trying to take away something useful. Because of that, cheating is just something so many people do, so today we're looking at the dumbest kids who got caught. With that said, if you've ever cheated on like a test or homework or anything like that, leave a like and comment if you got caught. I remember this one time I got caught and got suspended, but anyways, let's get right into the video. Number 5. Now I've gotta admit, it's almost hard for me to be mad at these kids, because even though they cheated, they also did something kinda sweet. I mean, yeah, 2 juniors took pictures of the answer sheet to their test while their teacher was in the hallway, but what they did next was actually really nice of them. Like most kids would totally keep the answers to themselves, but these guys decided to share what they learned and texted the entire answer sheet to the whole class. Now it's a nice idea, I know, but it's also really dumb, because that's exactly what got them caught. Instead of like a couple students doing better than normal, which the teacher could have accepted, every single student got 100. Obviously that's a little bit suspicious, and the teacher had them figured out in no time, so maybe sharing isn't caring.
An entire class at Anderson High School was caught cheating. The teacher knew that something was wrong when everybody got a perfect score on the test.
Because everyone's suddenly getting 100%? Not suspicious at all. WWJ-TV reports 2 juniors at Anderson High School in Southgate, Michigan admitted to taking cell phone photos of their answer key while their teacher was in the hall.
That it's a good idea.
The most immediate punishment, while everyone else is enjoying summer break, the entire class has to come back and retake the test.
Number 4. School is hard no matter what, but when you're taking AP tests at one of the highest ranked high schools in America, the pressure is on a whole new level of intense. So what do? Well, for some juniors at this Texas liberal arts school, the competition was just too much, so they decided to change the game. Basically, they got into a teacher's school file and found the answers for their history tests, which ruined the security of every single test file the school had. Obviously, they were punished pretty harshly, because 5 years of tests had to be changed or thrown out. But some people are still saying it's the school's fault for pushing the kids too hard. What do you guys think? Is cheating ever okay? Let me know in the comments below.
Tonight, cheating at the Liberal Arts and Science Academy High School has compromised 5 years of tests. After a lengthy investigation, Austin ISD says a junior at the magnet school was able to access test questions in an AP U.S. history class and gave others access.
In a letter to parents, the principal wrote, one student gained electronic access to a teacher's exam files. The ability to do so came as no surprise to some.
But I saw it as sort of like, oh, that's a shame, because like that they're using their talents for that. Because if they have the intelligence and the time to do that, they could be using that just to study for the test.
Some questions were compromised and a few students were given access to at least one test. LASA policy stands. Students caught cheating are given a 0 and receive a strike. 3 strikes, you're out.
Number 3. So I think everyone agrees that if a student cheats on a test, they should definitely fail it. But what about failing a whole class just because a teacher wasn't happy? Sounds totally unfair, I know, but that's exactly what this teacher did to all 30 of his students, partly because of cheating, but also partly because he just hated them all. I'm not joking, this teacher sent out an email saying he was quitting the course and failing all students because none of them deserved to graduate. Why? Because of cheating, yes, but also because people yelled at him or not showed up to class, and a few people even spread rumors about his family. Now that's pretty awful, but the university said he'd done the wrong thing, because he couldn't fail students who actually had good grades. However, the ones who actually did stuff wrong will be punished, even if it's kinda hard to prove who did what.
In the email Mr. Horowitz sent to his students, he calls them a disgrace to the school. He says he will no longer be teaching the course and will be giving everyone in the class a failing grade.
Enough was enough.
After what he calls a semester of disrespect, backstabbing, lying, and cheating, Erwin Horowitz had all he could take.
Yesterday, I finally reached the breaking point.
He sent a lengthy email to his strategic management class, explaining that they would all. In the email, he cited examples of students cheating, telling him to chill out, and inappropriate conduct. He said students spread untrue rumors about him online.
Number 2. I understand why people sometimes want to cheat on tests, but the sad thing is, normally it affects way more than just one person's score. Like one student decided to cheat on their AP test in Virginia this summer, but when the school found out, they had to do something really serious. So what does that mean? Well, all 500 students had the AP test scores taken away, and they were all told they had to do the test all over again. Now, I probably don't need to tell you how people reacted to that, but the students were not happy, and neither were the parents by the sounds of it. Thankfully, there was like this huge battle with the student board, and the scores were finally given back, but it kind of proves that cheating can cause way more problems than it actually solves.
As you mentioned, the school board, members of the school board are going to be meeting with members of the college board in the hopes of getting those AP scores reinstated, something that would come as a massive relief to the more than 500 students looking at having to retake those tests.
Well, once I heard our AP scores were canceled, I was really disappointed, frustrated.
Yeah, students telling us how trying this has been for them. Consider that they spend a considerable amount of time studying for an AP test, devoting nights and weekends to ensure the best score possible. If they are forced to take it again, it means hitting the books again. Many think that is simply not fair, since it was the school officials that put the chairs too close together in the testing room, which is apparently what sparked this whole controversy.
Okay, here's our honorable mention. No teacher likes to find out that their class has been cheating, but well, I think it's fair to say that this guy took it a little harder than most. I mean, he literally canceled the lecture just to chew out his entire class because he thought that they cheated on his midterm he'd set for him. The short version is that the results came back a whole grade above what they should have been, and the more statistics he looked at, the more suspicious he was. It turns out 700 questions the exam could be made of floated around the class, so that they all had time to study the 50 that actually turned up on the test. With that said, the funniest thing about this video is the guy's reaction, because it's so much worse than just making them retake the test. Like, he tells them that no one could get them out of the exam without a signed note from God, and he even claims he has a forensics team working on tracking down the thief. I wonder if he got caught.
On Monday, I found out what it was, because a student, either through a guilty conscience or as a heads up, anonymously dropped this in the bin on my office door. This is, as some of you out there know, because some of you out there are also in possession of this, is the complete test bank for the midterm exam. During the course of Monday, the lab instructors basically took a look at the data, started receiving emails from students who were concerned and upset that classmates had been bragging to them that they had advanced copies of the exam and that they aced the exam because they had all the answers ahead of time. Guess what? The midterm exam grades are being tossed. Whatever you scored on the midterm exam no longer exists. So here's the deal. If you participated in this, you have a choice. You can sit back in silence and hope your name doesn't get caught in the net, which is very quickly closing around the participants. Or you can individually, quietly, one by one, anonymously if you wish, to the rest of your classmates, identify yourself to your lab instructor. If you do that, get to complete the rest of the course. The grade you get in the course is the grade you earn in the course.
Number 1. For most people, going back to high school once they've graduated is an absolute nightmare, and you couldn't pay them enough to retake their high school exams. However, this guy was more than happy to take the SAT again and again and again, for the right price of course. I mean, he obviously knew he could ace the test, so he started offering to take it for other people in return for thousands of dollars. The crazy part is, it worked too, because he managed to scam the system 6 different times, completing 6 different versions of the SAT and getting top marks on every single one. In fact, even when he showed up and the name on the card was a girl's, nobody suspected a thing, and if it wasn't for high school rumors, he never would have gotten caught. With that said, he's gonna have to find another use for that big brain of his, because it definitely couldn't think him out of trouble once the police got involved.
As part of this whole scheme was prepare fake IDs in the name of the student for whom he was taking the test. He presented that ID at the test site. The proctor did not notice anything, even in the event of the instance where he was taking a test for a young girl, one of the defendants who was a girl. Right. And he scored on every single one of those tests in the 97th percentile. So there was a reason why these kids were paying him. They wanted good scores on their SATs. Well, it started, as most things do, with rumors going around the high school that certain kids had paid someone to take the test for them. The high school administration undertook an investigation, and what they did was they honed in on those high school students who took the test elsewhere, somewhere other than the high school. And they focused on those kids. They looked at the SAT scores that these kids got, and then they compared them to their GPA. And there was a huge discrepancy with these six students who had mediocre GPAs, but they scored in the 97th percentile on the SAT. So that was a big red flag for them.
Okay, I do want to get this in here because we have a statement from Great Neck School District. They say, they've been cooperating with Nassau County, with you guys. They say it's our hope that the actions currently being taken by the District Attorney's Office will serve to bring an end to any dishonest practices.
And there's our video on the top 5 kids who got caught cheating in school. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to see whenever I upload a video. Also, if you have your own top 5 or top 10 idea, feel free to use the extremely handy form in the description to submit it. With that said, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.